Corbin Carroll exploded onto the scene and took Major League Baseball by storm last year, but 2024 hasn't been going anywhere close to how we would have hoped so far, and here's why. In 2023, Carroll was the NL Rookie of the Year and All-Star and finished 5th in MVP voting in just his first full season, but his numbers have tanked so far to start 2024, and we've seen plenty of sophomore slumps before. This isn't anything new, but his OPS is down over 300 points right now, and by WRC Plus, he's gone from about a 30% better than average hitter to 30% worse. Now, it's still early in the season, and again, it's not uncommon for players to struggle a bit in their second go-around, because now the league has seen you for a full season, and they've had time to figure out your game a bit. Pitchers have made an adjustment to Carroll, and now it's his turn to adjust back. So what does he need to figure out to get back on track? Well, the first thing I'm always going to check with a guy is, has his approach at the plate changed? And in Carroll's case, no, not really. He's been swinging and chasing just a bit more this year, but still right around what he was doing last year, and he's actually been whiffing less, striking out less, and walking more. So he's still approaching his at-bats the same as before, a little patient at the plate and looking to use the bit of pop that he's got in his bat, with his focus mainly on making contact to avoid striking out. So this tells us that what he's struggling with at the plate comes down to how well, or I guess not well, he's been making contact so far, and this is where we really see some of his numbers dropping. Now, Corbin wasn't a banger by any means. I could have definitely said that differently, but he hasn't been able to make as much loud contact as he did last year. His barrel percentage dropping means he hasn't had as much high quality contact that usually leads to good hits. He hasn't been able to hit the ball hard as consistently, and a lot of this is coming from the fact that pitchers are getting him to pop up over twice as much as last year, and they're not letting him turn on the ball as much either. With Carroll's speed and bat-to-ball skills, he's more than fine with putting something in play and either hoping it finds a hole or using his speed to run one out. But let's not forget, we're talking about a guy that had 30 doubles, 10 triples, my God, and 25 homers last year. He had an extra base hit percentage of 10.1% in 2023, which was above the 8% league average. So a big part of his game is making solid contact, legging out extra bases, or sending one over the fence. And this quality contact is what's been missing so far this year. So then if he's still taking good at bats, and he's still getting the bat on the ball, he just hasn't been hitting it as well, what are pitchers doing differently to force him into making all this weak contact? Well, the simple answer is that pitchers are attacking him with more and more fastballs. The percentage of four-seamers he's seen this year has jumped up a ton, and he's hit four-seamers the worst he ever has by far. He had a bit of a tough time with these his first season, but at least still got some slugging. Then he was much better last year when he was able to level these out more, but that's been the problem this year. He's been getting under these fastballs way too much. He popped up fastballs about 9.5% of the time last year. He's at almost 29.5% this year. And you could probably guess that pitchers are getting so many pop-ups from him because about the only place they're throwing him fastballs is up out of the zone. And if he's been a little late and having a tough time getting to those high heaters, well, that explains both the pop-ups and why he's not pulling the ball. And pitchers have always hammered him with these high four-seamers out of the zone. They backed off a bit on going up and in last year, but they're going right back to that this year, along with throwing more and more fastballs up and away. Corbin Carroll has basically been getting the early Mike Trout treatment. And I guess that's a compliment, so congrats, Corbin? But out of all the fastballs he's seen this year, at least 20% has either been up and in or up and away for balls, and pitchers have still been killing him with these. The game plan has clearly changed where pitchers aren't going to throw him a fastball for a strike. They're trying to get these four-seamers up out of the zone, and Carroll can't lay off them, not only swinging at more fastballs this year, but chasing way more of them like he did his first year. The league realized that Corbin wants to go after these fastballs, and they don't even have to throw him for strikes either. And not only is he probably gonna swing at them, but if he does, then more than likely he's either just gonna pop it up or strike out, depending on where exactly it is. Now, there wasn't enough data from his short 2022 season, but even in his breakout season last year, you could see he was struggling. struggling with this. He wasn't getting any hits on fastballs up out of the zone. Up and away last year, he was striking out a bit more, but hitting the ball a little harder, and that's been the story this year too, but with even more Ks and a higher exit velo. Then up and in, he didn't strike out a lot last year, mainly just popping it up, but he's been K'ing there a ton in 2024 and popping it up way more with a ridiculous 67-degree launch angle. And come on, Corbin, we couldn't get that up 2 degrees for the sake of the joke. I gotta entertain these people. Now, one other thing I want to mention is a couple injuries last year that, I mean, you just never know how injuries are gonna mess with someone's swing and how long they're actually dealing with something and not at 100%. On June 29th, he left a game versus the Rays during an at-bat in the 3rd inning with discomfort and soreness in his right shoulder, the same shoulder that he had surgery on in 2021 to repair a torn labrum and posterior capsule damage. And anytime you start saying fancy medical words that you don't know what they mean, you know it's probably not good. He only missed a couple games just to be safe, but he's had a major injury to that shoulder already, and the only one who really knows how it's been feeling is Carroll, so maybe something's up with it or maybe not. And he was also taken out of a game on September 6th after getting hit in the wrist by a pitch, and we've all been there. Getting hit in the hand, wrist, forearm area is no bueno, and having something happen to one of those small bones in there can be more of a nightmare to deal with than you'd think. So maybe something's still not feeling right, but bottom line is Corbin Carroll has to figure out these high four-seamers, and the easy answer is just don't swing at them. Pitchers are throwing these up out of the zone for a reason. Show them that you can lay off those and take them for balls so that pitchers have to start going back in the zone. But they'll still probably be trying to live at the top of the zone with these, so he's also gonna have to figure out how to hit those better. But you can't just cheat on them and try to get started early, because that's when pitchers are gonna pull the string on you with a changeup or drop a breaking ball on you, and that's when you look stupid as a hitter. When you're guessing high fastball and you get the exact opposite of that. Two common fixes for this would either be to make sure that he's loading up and ready to swing a little earlier so that when he does get that high four-seamer, he's ready to pull the trigger on it, or working his mechanics a bit to shorten up his swing so that he's got just that extra split second to get all the way up there. And this is where I gotta rely on you guys, especially Diamondbacks fans who've definitely watched him more than I have. What are you guys seeing from him? Is he loading up a bit late? Is his swing a little too slow getting up to these high fastballs? Or why do you think he's fallen off so much this year? Leave a comment and let us know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to support the channel and see more videos from us. And for more baseball content like this, you can check out the video on your screen now. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Hope you have a good one. Later.